Hey friends, welcome back for day 10 of Vlogmas. Everybody, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be sharing with you Christmas treats that you can make using pretzels. There's 3 recipes that I do at this time of year, and I'm going to take you guys along and share with you just how easy and simple these quick treats are to make. The first thing we're going to start with is some delicious chocolate caramel pretzel bars. What you will need is 12 ounces, which is roughly 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use whatever brand you'd like. I find that the Ghirardelli chocolate chips melt beautifully. Also, you're going to need half of a 16-ounce bag of pretzel twists, so 8 ounces, 1 11-ounce bag of caramel bits, 4 additional ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 2 tablespoons of water, and some sea salt on the side to sprinkle on top. The first thing you will do is place parchment paper on a cookie tray because all my cookie sheets are the largest size that they make. I am just going to use this shallow roasting pan because this is about the size of a regular cookie sheet. You are then going to want to melt your chocolate. You are going to want to microwave your chocolate in intervals of 30 seconds until it's nice and smooth. And just a little tip to avoid your chocolate from seizing up. I like to add a teaspoon to a tablespoon of coconut oil in it to keep it nice and smooth. You are then going to take your chocolate and add it onto your parchment paper on your cookie tray. Once you get your chocolate smooth out on the parchment paper, you are going to immediately follow by placing your pretzels on top. You can lay your pretzels out in a single layer. It's okay if some of them overlap because I am using a smaller dish. I did have a lot of them overlapping, but as you place them in here, just press them gently into the chocolate. You are then going to take your additional 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate and melt that as well. You are also going to take your caramel bits and add 2 tablespoons of water to that, and we're going to microwave that on high for 2 minutes. Once you have that caramel all melted, you are just going to drizzle it on top of your pretzels. I think it'll be easier to just kind of pour over. We're going to follow by drizzling the 4 ounces of chocolate right over the top. And then you are just going to sprinkle lightly on top a couple pinches of sea salt. At this time, I am going to put these bars in the fridge until this hardens. When these have hardened, you're going to go ahead and slice them up into squares. Once these have set a little bit in the fridge, this is what they're going to look like after you cut them. And these are great to store at room temperature in the fridge in an airtight container for up to 2 weeks. Or you can even freeze these in your freezer and they will last a couple months that way. For this next cute and really fun, tasty treat, this varies on how many of them you actually want to make. For me, I'm going to be making a total of 25. So I have 25 Rolos. You can also use Hershey Kisses if you'd like. I have 25 whole pretzel twists. And then I had another 25 pretzel twists that I cut into half. Over here, I have 25 red candies. I have my candy eyes, and we are going to go ahead and get started. I suggest you preheat your oven to 350 degrees before you start. You're going to take a cookie sheet and lay out your parchment paper, and then you're going to take your whole pretzel twists and lay them out. Once you have all your pretzels lined up, you are just going to go ahead and place your Rolo candy right in the center of this bottom hole. When your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, you are going to pop these in the oven for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and it is definitely helpful to have all your toppings ready to go. Try to use caution when getting them out of the oven to prevent them from sliding, but that will happen. Mine slid a little bit, so what I'm going to do next is place the nose onto the chocolate carefully. Once you have your noses placed where you want to, I did hit the door when I was pulling these out of the oven, so they did slide, and some of them are a little slanted, but that is okay. We are going to place the antlers next. As soon as you are done placing the antlers, you are going to put your eyes on. Okay, after these have been allowed to cool, they're going to set up. You can put them in the fridge to kind of speed cool them if you'd like to. Some of mine, because I bumped the oven door, look like they got hit by a car. There's a little bit of damage to some of them, but you guys get the gist of the idea. And these are super cute and really fun to make around this time of year, especially if you have kids or if you are making a treat for kids. Okay, last but not least, we are going to do one of my favorites because you can get really creative. It's going to be the decorated pretzel rods. You will need a variety of different chocolate melts or candy melts. I have some of the ones that you can use in a fountain, the melting candy wafers. So I have real chocolate, and then I think these are the vanilla flavored candy melts. These are, so I got the red, white, and green, and you can use any colors that you like. I just like to stick to these Christmas colors. You get your pretzel rods. You can also make, I have some English toffee pieces that I use sometimes to sprinkle on. You'll want to get some Christmassy type sprinkles. You can use the little mini red and green M&Ms, and you can also crush up some candy canes. I'm going to take you guys along and show you the process. Okay, so after getting these to the consistency that I'd like them to be, I personally, this is something I've done for years. Can you tell I've made these for a while? I like to put some water in the slow cooker and let it sit on either low or warm, just so this stays to the consistency I want. Otherwise, this hardens up pretty quickly as it sits at room temperature. So I have my water simmering off to the side, just maybe 3 inches, just to kind of keep the glass jars warm. So I have a variety of my toppings ready to go. Like I said, I got some sprinkles, different things that I want to do. I got my pretzel rods ready to go. I did crush up some candy cane also to kind of make like a peppermint bark style pretzel rod. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your pretzel rod, and I only do about halfway. So I'm just going to dip it in, and because it's not going to be deep enough, I'm just going to spoon it on to the pretzel, however far down I want it covered. And I like to cover it a good little bit, maybe more than half. And then I am just going to lightly scoop off a little bit of the extra. And I'm going to set it down on a flat piece of parchment paper. This one I'm going to be doing a design on, but if you weren't doing a design and you just wanted to make these and maybe add some sprinkles, what you would do is just coat that pretzel to however far down you want it. I let the excess drip for a minute. And then you could take, I had to grab a plate. That's one thing I forgot. Over a plate, you would just take some sprinkles of your choice, and you could just sprinkle on your sprinkles so they stick to the chocolate. This one I'm almost out of. And then you have a plate underneath to catch them. But you could also do that and then, oops, this one's a little scarce. And just sprinkle on the sprinkles so they stick to the chocolate and then let that sit and dry. I also like to do some with the white candy melts, so I will do the same thing. I will coat the pretzel in the white candy melts and then scrape off any excess. And then with this one, what I'm going to do is just sprinkle on some crushed candy cane pieces. And that is how I am going to decorate this one. So I'm going to coat all the rest of them because I really like to decorate them a lot more in detail. So when they are all dipped and ready for the next step, I'll bring you back and I will show you the next step if you're wanting to decorate them in more detail. Okay, so some of them that I only did 2 like that. I did get chocolate on that one's eyes, but I just did a little reindeer. You can do that. You can put a pretzel twist on the top. I used some of the little eyes in the red candy for the nose that I had left over from the other reindeer treat. And then these are just examples to show you. You don't have to get super fancy. You can just throw some sprinkles on them. And then this one's just got the peppermint on it. And those are done. All right, now to get to these, I'm going to show you some ideas to design them. Or I should say decorate them. Okay, so for this part, I am going to get a little bit more detailed, but you can just, I'll show you, you can hold the pretzel and just drizzle it on with a spoon. But I'm going to take one of these light blue pretzels that I have done, and actually, you know what, I can show you. Hold on a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this blue pretzel that I've already done. Hopefully you can see a little bit. I can't zoom in really, but I'm just going to drizzle some of this. Actually, I had to make the tip a little bit wider, but I'm just going to go back and forth like this. And then let me see, I kind of would have went a little bit closer on top too. So I'm just going to go back and fill in those areas since it wasn't big enough. And just a little zigzag pattern. And then I'm going to come in with some sprinkles. I usually for this will do the little white beads, but I don't have those. I thought I did have those out, but I don't. So I'm just going to stick on here probably 3 or 4 little white snowflakes just to have on here. And then I'm going to sprinkle on top. And the parchment paper will catch it. I'm just going to sprinkle on some blue, silver, and white sprinkles since that's all I have. But it's really pretty if you have the little white sprinkles. Okay, and then for these, I'm just going to leave this one plain. And then I did find some white sprinkles. They're not exactly what I would use. Like I said, I like the little white balls. I think that looks really pretty with the light blue. But this has some of the little sugar crystals in it. So you can just do something like that. Actually, I'm going to get these sides a little bit more. Now I just want to try to show you real quick. You don't have to have a piping bag for this. You can just drizzle it on like this. And some might, come out thicker than others. Some might be thin. So if you want to be exact, use a piping bag, but you definitely do not have to. And then for this one, I should have had this ready to go. I am just going to sprinkle on a few of the red and white sprinkles. And like I said, I have parchment paper under it to catch anything, but that's what it's going to look like. If you just drizzle it with the spoon, it works just fine. All right, you guys, so this is how they turned out. I am kind of in a hurry because it's dinner time here. So I didn't, really take my time, but instead of buying the really expensive gourmet ones, you can just make these yourself at home. Super easy and affordable. And there's some really cute designs that you can do with these if you have the time to really get creative. But these are just fun. They're delicious. I will put them together in a treat bag. And just put a little ribbon around to seal it up, and you can gift these, and you can throw them on cookie platters if you make cookie platters this time of year for others. So there's just some really fun ideas out there to decorate these pretzel rods. I would have done more, but the rest were broken in the package, so I'm gonna have to buy some more of them. All right, I just want to throw this in here because people might not know. So basically my stuff stayed clean, like, the red didn't go into the blue and vice versa, all that. The water's gross because it dripped in there. But what I'm going to do is pull these, and you're probably like, what do you do with all this extra stuff? Because I had all these other pretzels, but they were broke in the bag and thought I was going to end up having to use them. And I'm not able to use them. So you can take this out, let it cool to room temperature, and you can put them in a Ziploc bag, the leftover, or me personally, I don't like to put it in a Ziploc. I like to just leave it in the jar, and you can use at another time. Just reheat when you're ready to use it, and you can go ahead and use your leftovers that way. Just keep it at room temperature. Do not refrigerate or freeze it. Room temperature, so just let it cool completely before you pop a lid on it, and store it for another time. That way there is no waste. So just wanted to throw that in there in case you guys were not aware of that. All right, you guys, I got a lot to pick up back here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this maybe gave you some ideas for some Christmas treats to make this time of year for gift giving or just to make for fun. Some really cute ideas out there, but these are 3 of my favorite inexpensive, really affordable treats with pretzels that you can do this time of year. I have other videos coming sharing other recipes, but yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging around if you stuck around this long, and I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, take care and God bless.